Welcome. I'm Eric Franklin, and this week on the podcast, we have one of our friends from the environmental office to come in and talk to us about all things environmental and how we can keep our country and the world safe. That and more on this week's Great Big Podcast. And we're back, and in the office today, we have one of our friends from the Directorate of Public Works Environmental Section. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, Eric. I am Christine Luciano, also known as the Bacon Ninja.
Just so you know, I can never say your name right, so I just say your first name, or call you the Bacon Ninja.
Bacon Ninja is good. I mean, everybody in the community, everybody in my office knows me as the Bacon Ninja. If you see my signature block, has the initials BN. It's not a middle name. It's just for Bacon Ninja.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit about what's going on in the environmental section.
So we're really excited about the upcoming school year. We've had a partnership with the School Liaison Office for the last 8 years. And we have a program called Yay! You feel the energy in my voice?
I did.
So it's actually Yay! Exclamation mark. It's how we always present it. So that's a short acronym for Youth Environmental Ambassadors Program.
Okay.
And this program has evolved over the years. It was first started under Colonel Fox, and now it has evolved to include several different programs that engages children from pre-K 3 all the way up into seniors in high school.
Okay.
And so we're trying to have students of all ages just get involved in the community, promote environmental and community stewardship.
And so for you, you said it's been going on for 8 years. How many years has the Bacon Ninja been involved with it?
So I've been involved since the inception. So it's really great to see how the program has evolved. And this is part of a program from the Centex Sustainable Communities Partnership. So it's a regional partnership between Fort Cavazos and 8 neighboring communities. So Nolanville, Harker Heights, Coppers Cove, Killeen, Salado, Lampasas.
One more.
Belton.
I'm
missing one more. And Gatesville.
Okay.
Yes. So we have worked together as a committee to evolve these programs, look for opportunities to make changes or add programs. So we actually added 2 programs last year from the input from one of our partners from the city of Gatesville and also from school students. So 2 of the newer initiatives we have is Plastics for a Purpose. So there's an organization in Gatesville called the Mad Matters.
Okay.
So it's a play on with Alice in Wonderland because it gets a little crazy. So what we did last year is we had schools collect plastic bags, clean plastic bags, and we worked with this organization and also with high school students from Pathways Academic Campus to create yarn from plastic bags.
Oh, wow.
So it is a very time-consuming process. And, these community members and high school students donated, hours and hours to give back. The community members in Gatesville are phenomenal. They've donated hundreds of hours to create mats that they crocheted out of plastic bags to actually give back to the homeless population to help with them.
Okay.
So another new initiative was pull together to make a difference. So that was a brainchild from actually a school out in Belton from Leon Heights Elementary School. So they were collecting pull tabs in their front office. And they're like, yeah, we love the schools. We love the students having competition between each of the grade levels to see who collects the most pull tabs. And then we donate it to the Ronald McDonald House in Temple.
Okay.
And so that helps to fund the house and their programs and their initiatives. So these 2 new initiatives give students the opportunity to see that they're making a direct impact to the population here in Central Texas.
And I think it's great because when you start at the youth, especially here in Fort Cavazos, because we have such it's a bad way to say it, but we have a transient population. So kids come here and they're here for only 2 or 3 years, maybe 4, but then they go to wherever. And I think, instilling in them how to keep their environment healthy here, and then them taking it to either like Alaska. They could be like, oh, I did this at my last school because we had this really cool program. I think that's great because especially getting them interested in learning of how to sustain the earth is important.
Yeah, it's really amazing to think about, a lot of our partners from the Centex partnership have been a part of the partnership since we started this program. So to think about the EA program, we started that 8 years ago. And if you think about the elementary students that we impacted and engaged, they're either high school students or just graduating. And a lot of them take that concept of being good stewards that, hey, it's not that hard to put the right thing in the container, in the recycle container. Let's not litter. Let's do the little things at home to help conserve energy. And they carry that and they share that with their peers and their families. As the Bacon Ninja, I also run around with a green afro. So that's my signature look. And when I have the opportunity and I'm at a conference or some type of community event and I have a student that comes back to me and says, hey, I remember you and your green hair, or I remember you, the bacon lady, and, and then they're like, yeah, you taught me when I was in elementary school or when I was in middle school, to know that you've had a lasting impact on the students and instilled those values is so rewarding and priceless. And that's one of the greatest things about this partnership is that we're seeing direct impacts with students in the schools and also in the community.
That's amazing. So speaking of schools, tell us a little bit about how you guys work with area schools.
So we have a great partnership with the school liaison office. The staff there is absolutely amazing. And so we leverage that partnership with their Adopt a School program to engage the units and the schools to leverage these resources and partnerships to help promote the EA program.
Okay.
So, as you said, it's a very transient population. We know mission readiness is first, but, we have partners here also from the Centex partnership. So if there's something that we can do to collaborate, to work together, to help make a difference, we want to provide support. So, sometimes we've had units that say, hey, I want to get my school involved that we have adopted, but I only have 1 or 2 soldiers. We're like, reach out to us and we can get volunteers and we can get staff members to help with this initiative. And, with the EA program, there's several different initiatives that focus on a variety of things. So, we talked about collecting recycled plastic bags, collecting pull tabs from metal cans. Some of the other initiatives is as simple as something that might take just one day.
Okay.
We have an art contest. We also have Lights Out for Lunch that promotes energy conservation in the classroom or cafeteria, and that's just turning off the lights maybe once a month or once a week to get in that mindset of conservation. Another one that it's more involved that we've had units that have helped is beautification projects.
Okay.
And then we also have a recycle bowl. So let me tell you something about the recycle bowl. So
okay.
In doing this in 8 years, let me just double check this right here. So we've had Copperas Cove ISD has been a reigning champion of the recycle bowl. And they seem, honestly, they are completely untouchable. It seems like no one can come close to what they are doing to get their schools involved, their community involved. And so, I think the other districts are just, honestly, they're just scared and intimidated. I'm like, one of these days, maybe another district will step up. So I kind of want to look and see on my little screen of how many years. Let's see. So since 2017,
okay,
Copperas Cove ISD school has won the Recycle Bowl competition.
What are they doing over there?
So they're just, the teacher, the staff, the students are just so enthusiastic. And, they really have a lot of great support from the community. And one of the schools that really stood out this past academic year was Hetty Halstead Elementary.
Okay.
And they didn't stand out only at the local level. So one of the things we do as part of the Centex partnership is we have these things called tree cookies.
Okay.
So, we have the trunk of a tree at the end of its life. We slice it, and then we have it designed that says Centex Sustainable Communities Partnership and Youth Environmental Ambassador or Environmental Ambassador Award.
Okay.
So each community is responsible for selecting, a student, maybe a soldier or a family, even a military unit. And for the first time, Copperas Cove said, hey, you know what? We want to select a school that's really represented us on their environmental stewardship. So they selected Hetty Halstead Elementary.
Okay.
So they were recognized in front of all the community partners from the Centex Partnership. And because of the impact that they have made throughout Central Texas, they actually shared those successes with the state, with Keep Texas Beautiful, and they actually won also an award at the state level.
Okay.
So it's just showing you that these students are so passionate and making such an amazing impact in the community. And they are the model of what so many of the other schools throughout Central Texas, within the 9 school districts of the greater Fort Cavazos area could do. So, we are here as a resource to help. And, sometimes we know that there's challenges within the schools of having that facilitator to help promote and lead that initiative.
Okay.
And if you can't do that, that's okay. But if there's an opportunity for us to come to your school to educate, or for you to come out to our facilities and do a field trip, anything that we can do to promote environmental stewardship, that mindset, and educate, that's our mission right there.
Okay. I know that I want to say it was last week, you had a unit come out to the recycling center, correct?
Yes. So, we have field trips for all ages, not just, school students. We've had organizations, and we also had military units. So we had 1st Med Brigade that came out. They had more than 25 soldiers that came out, and it really provided them a perspective of the single stream facility at Fort Cavazos. There's this misconception, I think, that people think we have a magical machine that everything gets thrown in there, and like it's a big washing machine that it just washes all the recyclables and then it shoots it out, and then you have these clean bells of product. But the reality is that every piece of recyclable that comes through our facility is still hand sorted by one of our team members. And so that provided some perspective of, hey, when in doubt, throw it out. If it's not plastics 1 and 2, metal cans, paper, cardboard, we don't want anything else besides that. The other biggest thing is it helped provide perspective that the reason of why everything has to be placed loosely, whether it's in family housing in your recycle bin or in the blue containers. So because of our equipment is very high paced, any type of plastic film, plastic bags can easily jam that equipment. And, unfortunately, we've had contaminants. We've had items you would never think that someone would throw in a blue container.
That they shouldn't be there.
Exactly. Like, you wouldn't put little dead old Fluffy in the recycled container, or a pig, or a turkey, or a duck. And this is just a reality. We've had animals that have come through the recycle line. We've had sharps. We have live ammunition. So, these are all different types of hazards. So think about, these are spouses, these are veterans, many of them have some type of connection to the military family. This is our family. So think about that when you're disposing of something, and take the time, take the extra 2 seconds just to put the right things in the right container.
Tell you a quick story. In a former life, I worked at the recycling center way back in the day when there was a lot less shade out there, and there was a lot less mechanical. There was a lot less mechanical aid out there. Yeah. When we'd sit there on the plastic line, it was literally we had just big buckets, and you're like, okay, and you're just going through, and it's a conveyor belt. And I learned being an identifier was a very important task, because in my mind, and I think it's a lot of people's mind, it's like, oh, it's plastic. When you said it earlier, we only want 1 and 2. People don't realize that, yes, all things are plastic, sure. But once it's past 2, it's kind of harder, and it costs more money to recycle it. And that's why you don't see it. And that's why we don't want it. The number, matter of fact, I'll let you tell me, how do I know what type of plastic is recyclable?
So
the best way.
The best and easiest way is just look underneath the container. Look underneath the container on the back. So the common things that are plastics 1 and 2 are going to be your milk jugs, your shampoo and conditioner containers, that heavy duty plastic, the soap detergent for your clothes. Those are and then plastic bottles for like soda bottles. Those are the most common plastics 1 and 2. And as you said it, if it's plastics 3 or 7, just throw it away.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of individuals that have been in this area for a while. And so one of the things that we used to recycle is glass, and we no longer accept glass. And the reason for that is having a single stream facility, if all those acceptable recyclables are commingled. So a lot of times when people throw that in there, it breaks, it shatters, and then there's glass all over, good, clean, quality products. But it's so tiny and so fine that it ends up contaminating part of those products. And we're trying to get the most revenue for the items that we recycle. So, when we talk about recycling, it's not only green on the environmental side, but it's green also on the economic side.
Yeah.
And, when everybody does their part to recycle right, then we can give back more to the installation. So, the Fort Cavazos recycle facility is self-sustaining. So we use the revenue from recycling to pay for capital improvements, for salaries, and then we give back an average of $100,000 directly to the community so we can support soldier and family events. More recently, the fireworks that everybody enjoyed. And we want to give back more to the community, but we need more participation and more support from, the families, from the soldiers throughout the community, just to help educate their peers and just putting the right things in the right container.
Okay. And so we're going to go ahead and get out of here, get in this segment, but I just wanted to ask one more quick question. If there was what are the 3 top things that you would tell someone who has no idea about what recycling is and how they can start it? What would you tell them?
So, one of the easiest things that you can do with starting a recycle program is having some type of consolidated point. If you say, well, I don't have a recycle bin, I don't have a recycle container. We've had students in schools that have gotten creative. Make it a family project. Get a cardboard box, decorate it with some type of recycle message on there as a reminder, place it in there, and make it a weekend adventure, just dumping your items at the facility or in any of the blue containers. And just think about the common things that we think of recycling. Plastics, 1 and 2, paper, cardboard, metal cans. Those are the common items that we see. A lot of places that we go to, whether it's at a grocery store or at an airport, you're seeing more consolidated recycle collections. So that's just helping to feed the message that, hey, you see this symbol? You see this? Or maybe that's something you can do. Draw the symbols of what's acceptable and put it on there as a reminder to you. And, you see that visual, you're doing it hands-on. And hopefully, they say after 30 days, it takes 30 days to have a change. Hopefully after that 30th day, it just becomes a natural daily habit for you.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Oh, so there's one more thing.
Okay, okay.
All things great environmental. So we talk about the common acceptable recyclables, but there's some items that we don't think about that can be recycled or properly disposed of. So we have another unique environmental facility called the classification unit. So this is at a different location from the recycle center. And these are items that you find commonly underneath your sink, in your garage, in your shed. Paints, oils, batteries, light bulbs, residential electronic waste. These are all items that you can take to the classification unit. This is a free year-round service that we offer to anyone who has a DoD ID card.
Okay.
So I think that's the other challenge that some people have is that, hey, I don't live on Fort Cavazos. I can't recycle. I can't bring my household hazardous products. No, these services are for the DoD population.
Okay.
Whether you're a civilian, a contractor, a retiree, an active duty, anybody who has access onto the installation, we want you to put your recyclables in the blue containers or bring it to our facility or properly dispose of those household hazardous items to the classification unit, which is on 37th and Ivy Division Road. And if anybody has any questions under the environmental umbrella, we have a Facebook page for Cavazos Recycle. You can look us up, send us a message, and one of our team members will be able to assist you.
And by one of your team members, you mean you?
Yes, the Bacon Ninja.
No. We'd like to thank you for stopping by and giving us those helpful recycling tips and just how we can keep our environment and sustainable, because this is it. This is the only one we're going to get. So hopefully we can keep it lasting for another 100,000 years or however long we're going to be
millions
here.
And millions
of
years.
Millions. I'm kind of only worried about the next 100 because that's maybe how long I'm going to stay alive. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, with
Science.
this AI technology and everything, I mean, it'll be like a scene from Black Mirror. Your consciousness will be alive forever.
I haven't seen the next episode of Black Mirror, but I am greatly looking for it. Everyone has told me it is great, so no spoiler alerts.
Okay.
All right. Again, thank you again for coming out, and we greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Planet Earth. It is made of water. About 71% of the surface, to be exact. As the summer begins, so does dehydration. Luckily, with the Earth so rich in H2O, one mustn't forget to drink water during the summer months, or they shall face consequences such as heat stroke or serious heat-related illnesses.
Okay, so of course, this is Samantha Harms with the Garrison Public Affairs Office, and I am so bummed that I missed this interview with the Bacon Ninja. I can't believe it.
Yes, she's so much fun.
She really is.
So I meant to ask her. She has to come up with a name for me since you have the Chief Chaos Officer.
I do.
She's the Bacon Ninja.
She
I got to
is.
come up with something for myself. Yeah. I can't come up with a nickname because then it's not really a nickname. If you come up with it for yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. But anyway, it was great to have her come in and just for us to learn about the single stream recycling that they have going on out there and just all the cool things that the environmental department has going on, not just on the installation, but in our community around.
Yeah, we have, Colonel Foster has been on this podcast a dozen times now.
Yes.
And he always loves to remind us that we are blessed to have the community that we have here in Central Texas, and that we are not just Fort Cavazos and Central Texas, but Central Texas and Fort Cavazos are a single, we are a part of the Central Texas community. So it is always amazing to hear when that kind of actually happens and trickles out and things happen because of the partnership that we have and the community that we continue to create every day.
I have a question. Would the word synonymous be used right there?
Oh,
Word of a day.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Partnership. Either way, all I know is Central Texas, Fort Cavazos, hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Go hand in hand.
Absolutely. And okay, so you mentioned a little bit earlier that you were learning some stuff. So, of course, now is my time to talk about the news.
The news.
We're learning more things, including something we've talked a little bit about a couple of times now is that the Civilian Human Resource Agency hosts Federal Employment 101 for military spouses. So they actually have another one coming up on July 25th. It's going to be from 9 to 11 a.m. And they're going to talk about spousal hiring preference, the advantage of federal employment, and, of course, how to navigate USA jobs. So if you are interested, the class is limited to 15 participants and pre-registration is required. So to do so, you're going to want to call 254-288-2004. So that's the first event we have coming up. Right after that is going to be Christmas in July.
Isn't there some guy that's going to be hanging out too?
Maybe.
Maybe?
We'll see. There might be a guy hanging out.
Might be a guy.
Santa's Workshop at the Great Place.
Some guy.
Yes.
At Santa's Workshop.
Wink.
You do the math.
Wink. So the event is going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on July 27th. The event is going to feature free toys for kids. This is the one time of the year that you can bring your kid to the workshop. So during the Christmas time season, when they're actually giving away kids they're giving away kids.
I hope not.
That's not what they're doing.
No.
When they're giving away toys
Yes.
for children. Yes, there it is. It's just parents or guardians who are going to pick up those toys.
Yeah.
So this is the one time that kids get to go and see everything. And then there is a potential for some Christmas swag, as they said, to be given away to adults. So it is a completely free, first come, first serve, no registration required while supplies last. So for more information, we recommend you follow them on Facebook. Their name is Santa's Workshop at the Great Place. Pretty easy.
Coolio.
Absolutely. So that's really the two biggest things that we have coming up. Outside of that, just as a reminder, the Directorate of Family and Morale, Welfare, and Recreation has swim lessons. Very exciting still. We love swim lessons. And with PCS season in the midst of and people moving around and all that good stuff, just as a reminder, the Cavalry Family Housing has partnered with Pack for Animals to allow residents on the installation to have their pets fostered and to foster pets for those people who are in need of that. So for information, you can contact them on Cavalry Family Housing's website.
Coolio. And just one other thing. I know you don't have any kids that live at home full time with you, but just so you know, it's almost summer's almost over, and those kids are going to be out of the house. That means less grocery bills coming up and less electricity bills. So just so you know.
I would say less groceries, but you still gotta.
Yeah, but you know what?
Eat them all the time.
You do. I don't mean that you don't
send them to school with food instead. So.
They're not. You're not going grocery shopping on Friday and Monday. All the food is gone.
Well, I think you would still do that. If Friday to Monday, that's still the weekend.
Yeah, no, but
so you should go grocery shopping on Monday.
All the food though. They'll literally eat all of the food in the house.
Yeah.
If you go on grocery shopping on Friday, by Monday they've eaten everything that you had, and that was supposed to last 2 weeks. Yeah, so.
Which is why you just don't go grocery shopping on Friday.
This is
you
true
go
too.
on Monday.
Yeah, this is true.
And then it will last a lot longer.
See, this is how you work things out. You say them out loud and
talk about it.
Yeah, people come back with better feedback than what you had in your mind.
Because even when your kids go back to school, they're still going to be home on the weekends.
But
if
not
you buy
the same
groceries,
amount of time.
But if they're saying that from Friday to Monday, they'll still be there.
I just picked a random date.
Right. You got flaws.
I got flaws in my plan. I do. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. Well, we all like to thank you guys for listening to us, and
Absolutely.
We hope that you come back and listen to us again next week.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is a U.S. Army Garrison Fort Hood and Fort Hood Public Affairs production. The show's theme music is written and produced by Delicious All-Stars. All our music is obtained through Filter by Songtrader. Have a question or want to share some insights with us? Email us at forthoodpao@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at USAG Fort Hood. And as always, be sure to leave a review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.